Welcome to another episode of Diary of a Wannabe Comedian with me, Belle, a wannabe comedian. I couldn't resist it, folks. I had to go back and re-edit the last podcast because it was just so horrific. It's really strange because when I record a podcast normally, I don't have that much trouble. I don't have gaps and things, well, not many. And I just really struggle. So psychologically, knowing that I had to do it in one take with no editing capability was really tough. Anyway, I have re-edited that and it's not my strongest podcast, but it sounds a lot better now and makes me feel happier. It's still a bit tinny, but that's obviously where I was recording and the fact that I'm doing it on an iPhone, or at least I was that one. Anyway, back in my home, back from Kent. And I did tell you actually on Thursday when I recorded that podcast, I was actually going out to something called the Scriptorium at Rochester Cathedral. And it was really good. It was kind of a light show on the inside of the cathedral with medieval music going. In fact, I think I took a little bit of the music, so I will put it on the back of this piece as I'm talking. But it was, really good. Because, I've seen loads of things at the cathedral over the years. But that was just so impressive. And it finished with this dragon rising up and sort of taking off and almost appeared as though it was going out of a window. Really cleverly done. Anyway, on to creative things, all things creative. I did my props course. I cannot believe we are whizzing through that. This Saturday we'll be halfway through the course. How freaky is that? But I spent the entire day getting covered in polystyrene bits. I was really struggling when I started trying to keep a nice little pile of these shavings. And by the end, it was like, whatever. It was kind of Santa's grotto. I was covered head to foot. And I feel really bad because plastic pollution in the sea, as I'm saying it with a laugh because it is actually part of my set, but plastic pollution in the sea is a big thing of mine. And to have this stuff all over me, and what can you do? It just wouldn't come off. So I've done my best. I actually didn't shake off too much and got home more or less intact, and then used one of those lint rollers to take off as much as I can before I put it in the wash. But there you are. I'm sure half of it ended up in the Thames anyway, because the school is not that far from Thames. So that was Saturday. Now I'm just mentally, yesterday was just stripping paper. There is nothing to say, but it is done. You will not hear me mention that again. It is done. Today, I'm preparing myself for, two things. I'm making room in my flat for somebody to come in and fit a floor for the next 2 weeks. Yep, that's going to be the topic for the next 2 weeks. So I'm having to condense everything down and put things in cupboards. And it's not easy. Not easy when you've got as much rubbish as I have. But I'm almost there. It's almost all put away or on windowsills or in cupboards, etc., etc. Then I have to prepare for a gig tonight. It's a new gig. I've never done this one before. It's called Too Far Comedy. And it's a guy called Richard Parr that runs it. Although I don't think he's going to be there tonight. I think it's a different MC. But I need to focus on getting some good recordings now because I realise this is a difference between men and women. So I'm on a group for female comedians. It's a bit of a wine fest, but that's another issue. I'm on this group and one of them is setting up their own night, and they said, contact me and I'll put you on this other WhatsApp group for their own night, which I contacted them. I'll be honest, the jury's out. I don't know whether this is going to happen or not, but, I'll keep watching. Anyway, obviously that was men and women on that site. And the guys just uploaded all their videos straight away. Like, oh, here's my headshot, here's my videos. They just seem more ready for greatness. I'm not saying they're all going to make it great. Does that sound right? But they all seem ready for greatness. And I'm not. I've been paddling around and it's like, I'm quite good. One thing I have done is I've actually got enough trophies for a shelf. I'm going to have a Ricky Gervais type shelf behind me so that when I do work videos, Zoom videos, everyone can just see my trophies. Because they may be 2 inches of plastic tack, but I'm very proud of them all. Much love and gratitude.